Oh, mic check.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Lucia's.
Sorry, I didn't have my microphone on.
Check, check, 1, 2, check, check, check.
Woo, we're back, which is no. I'm not liking this already.
How was Hong Kong?
Oh,
That's what they said to us at the restaurant
I
tonight.
know. I know. That's just
Oh.
crazy. So we're back. Sorry we haven't been here in so long. I think the two of us are pretty rusty. We don't even know what we're doing.
We missed 2 Sundays in a row.
We did.
You know why?
Because we're
Because of the
on
typhoon.
vacation.
It was
Yeah,
typhoon.
blame Ragasa.
Ragasa, the typhoon to hit Hong Kong.
Ragasa.
Let me tell you a story.
Oh.
You want to hear a good story?
Make sure you start with San Gennaro.
The good story starts in New York City on a Wednesday night in the middle of September 2025. We had tickets for Dua Lipa at Madison Square Garden that night.
Oh,
And I'm getting excited just thinking about that.
I know.
No, we had a blast.
So we started our New York City adventure at the San Gennaro Festival. Now, those of you who know me know that I love tripe. We went to the San Gennaro Festival thinking, yeah, we're going to find tripe. Well, guess what?
One of these little Italian joints has to have some tripe, right?
Wrong.
Wrong.
Didn't even know what it was. I
Stitched.
had to say it in Italian. Tripa. Do you know what tripa is? No, we don't carry that because there's really not a market for it. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. It
Yeah,
was so
you come
fast.
to the Lackawanna and Luzerne County valleys,
Yeah.
and there are dozens of restaurants here,
Exactly.
authentic Italian restaurants
Yeah.
that serve it,
Mm-hmm.
and they know how to do it right. And of course, that's the NEPA Tribe Tour, and Lucia and I have been doing that for a little while.
Yeah.
We took the tour to New York City, and we fell flat on our faces out there.
I was pretty disappointed in New York City, so I'm sure the San Gennaro Festival is going to see every gripe and complaint that I had about not carrying tripe. So there's that then. I don't even think the San Gennaro is an authentic festival, to be honest.
The Feast of San Gennaro. It's a block party.
Right?
They had lots of pizza and stuff.
Good evening, Cheryl and Jeremy from Cruising is Fun Anytime has entered the room. Be sure to check their show live on YouTube Monday through Saturday at 9
Come
a.m.
on up here, buddy.
Eastern Standard Time. I assure you that if you
Sorry,
check
boy.
their show out, you will not be the same.
So Sonny's walking around on the floor down here. We don't usually let the feline creatures
No, we don't.
downstairs when we're having a show, but he's crying for some reason. I think he wants to jump on your counter.
He can do whatever he wants down here. I don't care.
Come on up on the chair, buddy.
Tracy has entered the room. Hello, my friend.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode
You already did that.
of... You didn't even name the show. I called it Lucia's, which
This
is
is
wrong.
Unplugged with Lucia
It's
and
because
Glenn.
Unplugged with Lucia and Glenn. Take a look at Lucia's sign. Neon. Lucia's
Yes.
name and neon lights. Look at that. Right?
So, back to the San Gennaro Festival, and then we'll talk about the sign in a minute.
Did you eat anything at the San Gennaro
No, I
Festival?
didn't eat
Why?
nothing. Because
Did-
I'm sorry, but I'm not paying $30 for a drink and a snack.
Yeah.
That's not happening on my watch.
Yeah.
No.
But we did end up at some place that was nearby. Right?
We did.
Don Korean Chicken. Oh my God.
Bring your
They-
pizza over.
They could keep their pizza and sweet corn and all that stuff and the cheese sandwiches. They're making grilled cheese sandwiches selling for like $8.
Yeah, I wasn't paying $8 and then paying $5-6 for a soda at the San Gennaro Festival. No, thank you.
So Don Korean Chicken we found, and it was, like I said, right next to Little Italy. We had the crispy, crunchy Korean chicken. We had dumplings. We had the deep fried dumplings,
Yes.
and and it was like a little hole in the wall of a place. But
Yes.
while we were there, their takeout scene was happening right before our
Yes.
very eyes. DoorDash guys were there every 2 minutes
Yes.
picking up the stuff.
Yep.
So that's how addictive the Don Korean chicken
It's
is.
really good. Really
So
good.
we went to the Feast of San Gennaro and we passed and we went to that place.
We did.
But that wasn't all we did,
No.
right?
No.
So we ate that, and then we went to the Dua Lipa pop-up where they were selling Dua Lipa swag.
And we just missed her by an hour.
We missed her by an hour. She was
An
there
hour,
to visit.
she was
It
there.
would have been fantastic.
You would have passed out.
I would have.
Just like you would have
I'd
been
be
Mary Halsey. You're going to pass out.
I would have been doing that.
Yeah, you would have passed out.
My visit to the pop-up ended at the Bowery Pizza Bar next door.
That was okay.
Well, it was kind of okay,
The
but they
pizza was
did
just
what was a
okay.
little Detroit pizza for
There
us.
was no Detroit pizza.
That was a little Detroit.
No,
Mm-hmm.
that was a cookie cutter kind of deal.
Wow. You can say what you want.
Listen.
You say.
Compared to the pizza that I had tonight, which we'll get to a
Yeah.
little later on.
We're going to round it out tonight. And we're
Yeah.
going to tell you where we ate tonight. You're going to want
Exactly.
this. You're going to want
Exactly, Cheryl. It sounds yummy, yes.
this.
The
Mhm.
Bowery pizza was disgusting,
You-
but the Don Korean chicken was good.
I'm going to put a picture up in the corner over here and you tell me what you think.
Yeah,
okay?
no, you sent me. Yeah, good luck with that. You're supposed to send that before the show. Mr.
Well, I
Anthony.
do remember that I told them to put a little extra sauce on it, and they brought me extra sauce.
Oh my god!
Not
So once
allowed.
we left the
Not
pop
allowed.
up, we made our way over to MSG. Dorothea Jim is in the house.
Welcome,
We're gonna
Dorothea.
tell people about who this lady is later on the podcast too. So stick around.
I can
Don't go anywhere, Dorothy.
smell the tacos now.
Stop it. Stop. We have lots to talk about. Anywho, how? So we get over to MSG. All these girls are dressed up looking like Dua Lipa. Like, it was just like, I swear to God, the biggest, I think, Dua Lipa con I've ever seen in my life. This woman packed the show 5 nights at MSG. Every ticket was sold out. We won our tickets last year when we were in Taiwan,
And a
courtesy
raffle.
of Glenn Jr.
And she brought the
She
show. She
Everything
brought
we ever dreamed of, every
Perfect.
album we've ever
Oh
listened,
my God.
unreal. Danielle is in the house.
Hello, Danielle.
Those of you who don't know Danielle, she's a great hygienist. Dentist assistant.
Dental assistant. That's it.
Anywho, so we get to the show. Every song that this woman's ever sang, every video that we've ever watched, she delivered. She was
Mhm.
not lip syncing at all.
So tell me, did you get some Two Brothers pizza before you left New York City after the show?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't know. We didn't get Two Brothers.
Are you
pizza.
sure?
No, we did not.
We usually do.
No, we did not.
We were not hungry
No.
at that point.
At that point, when we were done and we left, we went back to our hotel room, and I think, no, we didn't even have pizza delivered.
No,
No,
we didn't get the
I
special
think we were
delivery.
full. I think we were full.
We might have been full from the Don Korea
Oh,
and the Detroit. The hotel that we stay at
Quinta,
is La Quinta over
great
in
hotel in
Secaucus, New
Secaucus,
Jersey.
Yeah,
They have a swimming pool and they have a bus stop out front.
they do. It's all
So the
convenient
bus
for the
takes
city.
you right to New York City, drops you off in the Port
Which
Authority
we don't
bus
complain
station.
about that too coming up.
Well, it's not so much a complaint, but we're getting there.
Hey, we're getting there. Stick to the program, Murphy.
We had to get up really early, so
So-
we had to get to the airport.
Right. So we get to the airport.
Mhm.
Going through security was a breeze because we have all our ducks in a row. When you're traveling internationally, you got to have your in a row. So if you're going to Hong Kong, China, shut up and correct me if I'm wrong.
Shut up.
You have to have not for Hong Kong, but for Shenzhen, China. You have to have Alipay. You have to have WeChat because that's the only way that they accept payment over there. Some of them take cash, some of them don't. And if they don't, you're screwed. Make sure everything is fully verified before you go over there. Don't be standing in the middle of Universal Beijing holding a chicken leg in your one hand and a passport in your other hand while you're trying to navigate the phone, because that's just annoying. That's happened to him.
So
And
paying with apps was a bit of a challenge.
In China.
In
in
China.
Hong Kong, it was
Hong Kong, you can pay with a Western credit card, no problem.
Right. So every dollar is like $14 over there. So everything that we bought was like, if it was $1 here, it was $14 there. So it's good to have a currency converter with you too.
Everything was cheaper there than anywhere else.
In Hong Kong,
Well,
Japan's cheaper.
we're not talking about Japan.
I
We're
know.
talking about China, and
We'll
we're
talk about
talking
that
about
too.
Hong Kong.
I don't care.
Our hotel rooms in Hong Kong were about $100
Yeah.
a piece,
Yeah, the first hotel we had was Butterfly on Wellington. That was a great
right in central Hong Kong.
hotel. Central Hong Kong. Walk 10 minutes down the road, you had a McDonald's, which was nice. And not that we always go to McDonald's when we eat out of the country. We do it on purpose because there's stuff there that you
It's a
won't
little
get
bit
here.
different.
Have you ever eaten soup for breakfast?
Uh-huh.
Tell us in the comments, because honestly, I don't think you have. After that,
Our stay at the Butterfly in Wellington was marred with a little bit pre-monsoon typhoon.
yeah, this was pre-monsoon typhoon activity.
It rained cats and
Rained every
dogs
day.
for 3 days
Our
on
feet were
us.
soaked. Somebody got sick off of drinking milk tea and ruined half of our visit to Hong Kong Disneyland. But that's okay because we got 2 extra days in the park at Hong Kong Disneyland. So we went there 3 days worth for 2 days tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Then we made it over to Shenzhen. We struggled with Alipay. We struggled with WeChat. Thank God we brought a lot of money.
You're jumping ahead too quick.
What do you mean?
I think you have to talk a little bit more about Hong Kong Disneyland. All right, we were stuck in a hotel for 3 days because it was raining cats and dogs in central Hong Kong. But then we transferred up to Hong Kong Disneyland Hotel. And you breezed right over that section like that.
Let me say it again. We spent 3 days in central Hong Kong. It rained. Somebody got sick. After the 3 days in central Hong Kong, then we went to Hong Kong Disneyland for 2 days. Because somebody was sick, he barely ate when we were in Hong Kong Disney. What are you doing? So when we got to Hong Kong Disney, this was pre-typhoon, we got to experience a lot of the park. The nice thing about Hong Kong Disney is, number one, it's the smallest Disneyland park out of them all. Number two, you don't need a fast pass. You don't need VIP treatment. You don't need none of that like the other parks. You will ride everything. The longest wait was for Frozen because it was like 15-minute, no, not Frozen, the sleigh ride. 15-minute walk to a 15-minute wait to a not even a minute experience. So when you go there, it's very intimate. It's very, what are you doing?
I'm trying to keep my monitor from shutting off every 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't bother you. So at Hong Kong Disneyland, hello, Sherry Ann. Yes, they did. The Broncos did win. But we're not Broncos fans. Sorry. Anyhow, so going back on what I was saying, the nice thing about the park is it's small, it's quiet, it's great. And yes, we did eat around the park, but I didn't like what we ate, what I wanted to get to, which was in the Moana restaurant, after somebody had recommended it to us. Not that I was mad. I was not mad. Believe me, I was not mad. But, you know, eating in the parks around Disney is a little expensive. So if you're gonna do it, just make sure that you do your homework. How's going on my computer? There we go. That's better. So after that, the typhoon Regasa struck and delayed our plans of going to Shenzhen for 5 days. So we ended up staying at Hong Kong Disneyland for 3 days, 3.5 days. And let me tell you what, that typhoon was scary. We literally stayed in our room for 2 days. Thank God they had resort style stuff. You can eat on the property. We ate in Waltz every day. It's a great restaurant. And not only that, you know, they have shops and they have things to do for children. And the characters still came over and did yoga every morning, like Donald and Mickey. But what was really cool was they said, stay here for 2 extra days. We're going to take some money off your bill. And that's exactly what we did, just to stay safe. Once we did that, what's the name of the transportation company again that we used?
GoTour.com.
GoTour.com was excellent the whole time. They picked us up in Hong Kong in a Tesla. So that was cool because I never drove in one before. And then
They met us at the airport.
In a Tesla.
Why are you yelling?
Come here, Bart. Come on. Come make your debut.
That was the main thing. When we
Right.
got off of the plane, we picked up our luggage and we walked outside and there was somebody standing there with a sign with our name on it.
And a Tesla.
This is important. I don't give a shit about your Tesla. You can shove your Tesla straight up your ass, Lucia, okay?
Hi, Bill
But
Armstrong.
GoTour.com took care of us. They took us from the airport to the hotel. Later, they picked us up at the hotel, took us to Hong Kong Disneyland. Then, after we negotiated with them again, they took us across the border into mainland China. They had a luxury van with 2 license plates on it, one for mainland China and one for Hong Kong, to take us over, guide us through the immigration process.
Right.
You have to check in when you're leaving Hong Kong. You have to check in when you're arriving in China, and you better have a Chinese visa.
Yep.
Because if you don't, they're going to give you trouble when you're on your way in.
Exactly.
They're going to want to have extra questions for you.
So it's nice when you travel that you find a transportation company that's going to take care of you like that. And it was nice to get picked up at the Hong Kong airport, transported to Hong Kong Disney, and then into mainland China, back from mainland China into Hong Kong. So that was really cool. Shenzhen, we got to stay right in Futian.
The Futian district. This is a city of 17.5 million people, twice as big population-wise as New York City.
Okay, we're close. Don't ruin it. So when we were in Futian, we had what was called a solace. This solace would give us extra internet backing us up to Olafly, which is an electronic SIM you could get for your phone when you travel abroad.
You just confused the hell out of
Shut!
me.
I did not. Be quiet. So the solace was a backup to our Olafly, which is our electronic SIM that we had on our phones for data. We left it in the back of a taxi cab and forgot it. In a city of 17 million,
It's a little box about as big as your phone. All right. We left it in the back of the taxi cab and didn't realize it, and the taxi cab drove away.
Right. So
we had no internet at that point, did we?
Did not.
No.
I had my Olafly, but Glenn had nothing.
I had nothing.
Glenn was relying on the solace. So what was that?
Crybaby.
In a city of 17 million people, they were able to identify.
Who was able to identify?
Will you stop cutting me off?
We went back to our hotel.
Go ahead.
No,
After we realized that we lost the solace, we went back to the hotel in Futian and we explained our situation. They asked us a number of questions. What time did you get in the taxi cab? What does it look like? Where were you going? So we gave them the important data. By the end of the day, it was back in our hand. Literally back in our hand. Untouched, not damaged, not nothing. It was amazing.
A miracle.
Exactly. A miracle. That too.
All right. So we got our Wi-Fi pack back.
Yep.
And we enjoyed the rest of our stay in China. What did we do while we were in China, Lucia?
We got to go to Wonder of the World, which is an amusement park that allows you to see the world without leaving China.
50 countries we got to visit,
Amazing.
130
Yeah.
monuments from around the world.
Come on.
Rides like Fast Fuji and the Machu Picchu ride.
Would you like to say hi to everybody?
Virtual reality.
This is our funny boy. He's new. Hi.
So that was our first day in mainland China that we got to visit Wonder of the World, which was amazing. And the next day, we went to visit a construction site.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
At this construction site was Huafa Snow World, the biggest indoor ski area in the world. They were still constructing it at that point. It wasn't even ready for the general public, which was going to open up on Monday. So we begged them a little bit to get a little bit inside.
We wanted to see the snow on Saturday, and there was too much construction going on.
Right. So we got to see some stuff. When we went back on Monday,
we got to see the snow.
Thank you, Dorothea. He is beautiful, but he's a pain in my ass. So when we went back on Monday, we were the only Americans there. We were not invited. We were the only Americans there.
There was thousands of people, Chinese dignitaries,
public officials,
yes.
You name it. They were there. They were blessing every sort. Diane Cooper from Down Under has arrived. Hello, hello.
Hello, Miss Diane.
Queen Diane to you, sir.
Something like that.
They were blessing every store. You have to go and take a look at the playlist, not the shorts. Look at the playlist of Asia Unfiltered, and you will see exactly what we're talking about. They were going store to store to bless everybody. So when Glenn and I made our way halfway through the mall to the main attraction, she was unveiling the snow mountain. And it was so cool.
With the squeegee.
With squeegee. While we were over there, a security guard came over to me and he was trying to talk to me. And I said, well, we came all the way here from the United States. He said, you guys are the only Americans here. Do you realize that? I was like, no. And he's like, yeah. He's like, you guys are the only Americans here. Thank you for coming to our country. Thank you for telling your people about us. We appreciate you. I would say every couple times when we were in China, people knew we were YouTubers, which was pretty neat, I thought.
There was a couple of times we ran across people like we were on the subway train going back to the hotel the last day.
And the kids
that one fella looked at us
and like, you guys are on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
so somebody recognizes.
Yeah.
A lot of our viewers are from Asia.
Yeah, they are.
So you don't know what you're going to run into. And our matching shirts that we wear is a dead giveaway.
I know.
That there's something going on here. Did you see my Denver Broncos? I think they
We're
won.
not
I think they're winners.
So let's explain something. The Denver Broncos was when we went to
Mile High Stadium.
They're on the clearance track. We picked them up. End of story. So when Dallas doesn't play, or the Steelers don't play, or Murphy doesn't feel like putting on the jersey, we throw these on.
And sometimes we don't match in the football season, right?
No, because I'm a Dallas fan and you're a Steelers fan.
And I'm a Steelers fan.
All right. So are we ready to unveil this week's song? I'm only playing it. I'm not saying it.
Well, let's just wrap up what happened because we did get to see the grand opening of the largest ski hill in the world, and then we had Go Tour pick us back up at our hotel with our luggage to take us back to Hong Kong for one more night. We stayed at the Marriott Sky City right at the airport in Hong Kong, but they had 2 shuttle buses there. One of the shuttle buses would take you over to the airport in the morning or whenever your flight was.
Patriots.
And the other shuttle bus would take you to the outlets.
Right.
And what else was at the outlets?
The Buddha!
The cable car to the Buddha.
Those of you that have been following the adventure, when we went to the Buddha the last time, it was shut down.
We went to the cable car the last time.
The cable car was shut down, so we couldn't get to the
This
Buddha.
time, the Buddha, they closed the gates at 5 o'clock, and we were there at 5:30.
So pissed.
And we walked in through the outdoor.
And the security
girl was over screaming at us. Oh my God, who do you think you are? You YouTube creator crap
guess
people.
What? Little does that security guard know that they're looking into that to find out why we were not allowed up. Because we should have been allowed up.
Well,
we had a valid ticket.
What's the other problem is the cable car stops running at 6 o'clock. There was no signs around there to tell you this, but we got back to the cable car at 5 minutes to 6, and you can see the girl out front looking at her watch like, am I going to close the gate on these guys or what? And then you'd have to take a taxi back, and it cost you $1 million to take a taxi cab back.
But all in all, we got back to the hotel, and then we were able to get to our destination the next day.
Yeah, we flew out early in the morning. We hung out at the airport. Did you get some McDonald's at the airport too before you left?
I think so.
We walked into the McDonald's on the second floor in between checking in and going through security. And we walk in there and the place is overrun with people. Well, smack in front of us is 2 guys with no food on the table, occupying the place and sleeping in the middle of McDonald's. I was going to go over and like kick him in the shins and say, hey, buddy, fuck out of here.
I can see you doing that.
We need someplace to sit. The other trouble, again, over there, they drink their coffee black. So you cannot get creamer for your coffee unless you order a cappuccino or a latte or one of those drinks where they would give you steamed milk or hot milk. And very difficult to find non-sugar sweetener like Sweet and Low.
Yeah, there's no sweetener. There's no milk. There's
nothing like that. So it might not be a bad idea to throw, if you like some creamer in your coffee, throw a couple of dry packets in your bag, or bring some equal with you. I know they have little dispensers with the sweetener.
I guess you're gonna have to start carrying around, but don't put it in your backpack so it doesn't get flagged by security.
Oh, well, that's another story altogether. Before we left China, we went to the mall to spend the rest of the money that
And it
we
was
had.
really cool. This kid was hustling. He's
He was
trying to make
hustling.
money.
He's cleaning my
$9.99. He
sneakers.
sells him this bottle of stuff to clean his sneakers. Clean the sneakers are the bastards in TSA took it. I was so mad.
I bought this cleaner off of them. It ended up being like $10 American, and the container was 150 milliliters of
Yeah.
cleaner in a sealed cellophane box.
Yeah,
and,
no.
and all of
No,
that.
fuck you, no.
And they said, no. The limit is 100 ml. You can have 150 ml.
That's right.
So they shot away my cleaner. Luckily, I had some spot remover that was smaller bottles. They let me keep that.
You're lucky.
I am lucky.
Next time you're not throwing it in your backpack. So.
I'm going to have to put it in my carry-on.
Nope.
I can't put it in my backpack.
Yeah, your carry-on. That's what I meant.
Right.
So now we are going to finally
unveil
this week's song.
This week's song, which she's been practicing
Now,
this song. She's been rehearsing her
mind
parts.
you, he said either learn how to sing it or play it. I tried to sing it. I'm not Elphaba and I'm not Glinda, so there's that then. I'm just going to play
You're
it.
not Ariana Grande?
Do I look like Ariana Grande?
No.
Do I look like Elphaba? Yes.
The Wicked Witch of the West, but you're from Southside.
I'm Tupac Murphy, Bubblegum B.
You got it.
So
Go,
if you haven't
Lucia.
seen the Broadway musical Wicked,
Sing it.
if I'm not singing it.
Okay.
If you haven't seen it,
I'll sing. I know all the
you're
words.
not singing it either, or I will not play the song. Do you understand?
Let me clear my throat.
If you, I'm warning you. If you sing it, I'm not playing it.
Okay.
Do not.
I'm going to put the lyrics on my forehead so everybody at home can
We're
see.
gonna talk about that too in a minute. So
Ready, set, go.
we're gonna play the song, and then we got more to talk about. So this is Defying Gravity from the Broadway musical Wicked. Turn that off.
That was freaking awesome. Lucia. You sound like the whole orchestra behind the black screen at the Wicked show.
Listen, you know how long it took me to learn that song?
Well, I think you've been practicing on and off for at least 3 weeks now,
Yeah.
minus a little trip to China there.
Mhm.
Let's see what happens here. Oh, I do that. All right, I'm back.
He's back.
He's back.
Now, as far as next week's song goes,
So that was Defying Gravity from the Wicked musical.
yeah.
And in November, part 2
Yes.
is coming out in
Can't
movie
wait.
theaters.
Can't wait.
We went to the theater last year to see part 1, and we were left with the cliffhanger.
Yeah, we were.
Where are the flying monkeys?
Yep.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I got a monkey right here. Come here. Come here.
Oh.
That's you.
It's okay, buddy.
My good boy.
All right, let's see if I can give you a little snippet of next week if it'll even open.
Come on, up here. Come on, you can jump up there. Jump up.
Just
Come
say
on.
come.
Come. Come up here.
Why isn't that opening?
Come up here. Up. Up here.
Doesn't like me. Ah,
Jump up there, can't you?
here. I'll give you a little one pager for next week while you're playing with the cat. If you know what it is, put it in the comments. That's all you get.
Hey, what are you doing on my microphone stand? Don't pull that. Don't pull it.
That's
All
fine.
right. So Sonny Boy is over here having fun. He's
Yeah.
trying to knock me off of this chair.
Of course.
He's like a killer cat.
Don't say that word on social media.
Well, I'm sorry, but he's going to try to knock me off
No,
the chair.
he's not.
Right?
No,
Trying to
he's
trip
not.
me at the top of the steps.
So continue, please.
All right.
Mm.
Tonight we got to visit for the first time in a long time.
Ringside.
Ringside.
Mm-hmm.
Ringside is kind of an homage to the Circle Road around. around the lake, but it's also an homage to a great boxing legend.
Yes.
And Ringside had the hot honey and pepperoni pizza tonight,
Mm-hmm.
beet salad,
Mhm.
and wings cooked in a brick oven. You ever hear of such a thing?
I have. Sonny boy.
They were really,
It's
really
all your fault, Ryan. Our cat is crying. It's all your fault.
They were really good, and that was our dinner tonight. And
Yeah.
we walked in the door. It was 5 to 7. I said, we got to get on the air,
Yeah, we do.
and here we are.
Sonny.
So we told everybody about our trip to Hong Kong and China.
We did.
We didn't tell them exactly how much it costed, but I
No.
can tell you this: that the airline tickets we got with miles from our credit card.
We
had a
did. It
credit
went for
card
free.
we used for 14 months, charging and paying the credit card, and the airline tickets costed $0.
Zero, my hero.
We didn't have to pay to park at the airport. That was like $100.
Right.
Each one of our days in Hong Kong and China, except for Disneyland,
Mm-hmm.
was $100 a day staying at the hotel. So we had about $700 between those two hotels. $200 a night at Hong Kong Disney, which is $800. I told you you wanted to jump up on the counter.
I have to show people this. I don't think I can do this. Wait, Sonny, want to say hi to your fans?
There he is. He's up on the bar.
Do not jump on the piano, mister.
Uh-oh, he's going for
I
it.
will cut your tail off.
He's a flying squirrel cat.
You better not be a flying squirrel cat. Don't do it. Don't do it, mister.
So essentially, our trip to Hong Kong costed us
Good boy. Stay there.
$1,600
That's cheap.
plus food and souvenirs, right?
Yeah.
We had some transportation getting around. It was probably about $300 to have people meet us at the airport, take us from one place to another.
Yep.
So we didn't have to mess around with big suitcases
Nope.
and dragging them in train stations and stuff like that.
Eva's in the house. The cleaning lady. It's all in the detail. Did your house cleaned? She's the
So
girl for you.
2-week-long vacation, $2,000 plus food. And let me tell you about the food. Because while we were in mainland China, if we went to the mall, we would eat like kings. What would cost us $125 to $150 here in Pennsylvania was about $40 over there. So we could eat dinner for $40. We could eat lunch for $20. We could eat breakfast. How much did you spend for breakfast at KFC in China?
God.
$5.
Yeah, $5
For two people to eat breakfast at KFC in China. And that was the first meal that we had because we had an early transfer that day to get over to the KFC. He's loving it up there.
He's sleeping.
He's keeping an eye on his sister over there to make sure she doesn't get in trouble on the rug. Hi, Numby. Uh-huh. Oh, she wants to come sit on the bench with you. Come on up there.
Come on. No. We don't meow. Come on. Come on. Come make your debut. Come on.
I can't see her.
Come on. Let's go.
Up.
No, she has to jump up. You know how she gets. Come on. Up. Come.
No?
Come.
These
Please?
cats don't do tricks.
They do.
You are not the cat whisperer.
Numby. Get here. Come on. There we go. Come here.
Oh, one more thing.
This. Oh, and here's our Numby.
There she is.
I want to sing that tune. I want to sing that tune.
Meow, 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 meow. Tickets to Hong Kong Disneyland Park.
Cheap.
You can buy a 2-day pass for $105 American per person.
Yep.
Walk on all of the rides.
Yep.
We didn't wait more than 5 or 10 minutes for
Except for the
any ride.
one we did.
Maybe the Frozen
Sleigh
ride, the sleigh ride.
Yeah.
We waited a little
That
while
was a
for.
joke.
But the park is the smallest of the Disney parks in the world. You could walk from one end of the park to the other in 20 minutes, and we proved that by doing it the one night.
Oh man, let me tell you what.
We went back to our hotel, had a nap, and then went back to the park for the fireworks.
Right. So when we got there, the first ride he goes to was Hyperspace Mountain. Now, mind you, I watched Hyperspace Mountain on YouTube with the lights on. I'm like, all right, it can't be that bad. When Glenn went on it 9 years ago, smoothest ride in the park. Well, guess what?
It's got rusted. It rusted.
I have a black and blue mark now as a result of it. Yeah. So I wasn't happy. After that, The next ride that I went on was in Geyser Gulch. I went on the Runaway Mine
Runaway
Car.
mine car.
Hey, that ride was.
That cat plays the piano?
She does.
Wow.
That
I'm
ride
impressed.
was intense. So I enjoyed that ride. And I liked Everest.
It went
Mountain.
forwards and backwards
was
like
cool.
Expedition Everest.
And then he took me to the Frozen ride. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys what to expect with the Frozen ride.
No.
Other than you may get wet. We're just going to leave it at that. All right?
You
So
may
if
not
wanna
get wet.
experience
You
it-
may not get wet too.
Right. But if you want to experience it, get to a Disneyland park and you'll see what I'm talking about. Look it up online. I don't care. I'm not giving
Okay,
away the
so
spoiler.
they threw us out of the park early
They
on
did.
Tuesday.
Yep.
And we got to go back again on Thursday after the monsoon typhoon, right? So essentially we paid $35 a day. $35 a day to go to Hong Kong Disneyland per
Right.
person. And try doing that in Florida or
No.
California
No,
or
not even Japan.
Paris, France,
No.
or Japan.
No.
Japan, we did get a good deal. We bought a Twilight ticket.
We
it was
did,
like
but we still
50
didn't get to
bucks.
ride the rides, and I was a little bit
But
upset about
the
that
place
because the
was
rides
just
are so
overrun.
overrun with tourists. Hey.
Hours wait for
Yeah.
any ride
I
at
wanted to go on Backdraft. It was
Tokyo
a 240-minute wait. There was no way I was standing in line for 4 hours.
to ride one
Abs-
ride.
Not me. Absolutely not.
Stop yelling at her.
She is messing up my
You gotta,
shit.
you gotta, you gotta.
Listen, that's not for you to knock over. No. Get down.
So we had a very, very successful trip,
Yeah,
and
girl.
now we're looking forward to the next one.
So earlier you guys saw a woman by the name of Dorothea Jam chime in. I'm sure she's still here. We are going on the brand new World America
By MSC
with
Cruise Line.
MSC Cruise Line. We have a suite with a hot tub on a balcony.
Our own
For
private hot
somebody's
tub.
60th birthday who's going to break the bank.
I'm celebrating 6-0.
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
So our friend Dorothea Jam and her husband will be joining us. They don't know what they're signing up for.
John's coming too.
Yeah. And we're going to go to Puerto Plata where we're going to experience something brand new together called Greekland. Hi, Larry.
Greeklandia.
Larry Kutry's in the house.
Greeklandia is in Puerto Plata,
Yep.
Dominican Republic.
It's $25 a person and they mimic the
It's-
Greek experience.
Well, admission without food
Yeah.
or drinks
That's
or anything like that.
but that's going to be cool.
But we got the run of the house for $90 a person. They have food and drinks and entertainment and singing and dancing. And they have a real Greek village that they
Mhm.
built in Dominican
Yeah.
Republic.
So that's Puerto Plata because we've seen everything else out there. We don't need to do anything else. We're also going to San Juan where we're going to go through the old
We
town.
love the old town in San
And we can
Juan.
literally walk the old town, just look at the restaurants, walk up to the castle. It's very walkable. Very walkable. And then we get 2 days at sea. And then we finish out the listen to me, the shit show, the cruise
The shit show cruise,
at Ocean Key or Private Island.
MSC's a
Those
private
people
island.
follow us on
It's
social
only been
media.
open for 5 years.
If you follow us
It's
on
like
social
brand new.
media, you see me dancing there 5 years ago. So it was pretty cool. So it's going to be a nice short cruise
Well, they rolled out the welcome mat for us,
for me, not you.
and it's not a short cruise at all. This is 7 days and 7
But we have
nights.
3 sea days and four pretty much 4 ports or 3
There's
ports. however you want to
3 port
put it.
days
Yeah.
and 4 sea days. Are you tired or something?
Yeah, you're
Do you
exhausted.
need a nappy nap? Huh?
I need that.
Do you want a pillow and a blanket, Lucia? Get with the program over here. We're
Listen,
doing a live
I
show.
got home. I did
Stop
all
that
the laundry.
yawning.
I put the laundry away. I did everything that I had to do so I didn't forget. And then, of course,
Thank you for doing something instead of nothing like you normally
this
do.
morning I screwed up and threw the fabric softener all over our clothes. Thankfully, nothing was
I
damaged.
thought the fabric softener was detergent. So I poured it all over the clothes.
Shut up.
I'm like, do you read English, Lucia?
Shut up. We had a very busy day today. So, yes, I am tired if you can't tell. That's why I wear
Oh,
glasses so you
I'm
can't
looking at
tell.
your eyes. You're very tired, those eyes.
Oh, yeah.
No hot tub for you tonight.
No,
Oh.
I haven't been able to go in because I'm too tired. It's just not going to happen.
So we're looking forward to our cruise. We had a great trip to Hong
We
Kong
did.
and China, and we're going to close out the show
No, we're not
with
done yet.
Lucia's big mouth. There you go.
We have one more
Let it
trip.
loose.
We have one more trip after that.
We're not talking about that tonight.
Okay, fine. So that'll be the end of our trips for this year. We got to see some concerts. We went to see Tom Kiefer and we went to see
We saw some shit.
LA Guns.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot more coming. So that being said, before we close out the show tonight with our song, if you want to find out about what we're gonna do next, head on over to our YouTube, hit the membership button, sign up. It's 99 cents a month. Every single person that signs up, I'm donating it to his charity. All about the kids' bicycles.
We're not in it for the money. We're in it for the
Not
charity.
at all. That's right. So if you sign up, that's where your monthly donation goes. So far, we have 3 subscribers, which I want to thank Jen Cohen, Jen Cohen in Illinois, Norma in Texas, and Michelle Donna in Florida. Thank you very much. Each and every one of them
Now you got me yawning.
Each and every one of them got the CD Effort Never Dies coming their way. That's the first album that I wrote. The other day I announced album number 2 is coming out. It's going to have the first 3 covers, the new 3 covers.
First 3 originals.
Sorry, the first 3 originals, the second 3 originals, and
a couple covers.
It's also going to have 4 brand new covers.
10 songs?
10 songs.
One album?
No, yeah, 10 songs, 1 album. Now
I'm going to hold you to that.
Now, I could put the covers from the original on it, but I'm not doing that because what I'm going to do is the 3rd album will probably be all the originals, all the covers, and then I'll probably add a couple more. But the name of the album is called Sonic Chaos, and there's a reason for it because with Effort Never Dies, it's all about never giving up. Always pursue your dreams. Where Sonic Chaos is, there's always going to be a hiccup in the road when you want to get to where you're getting to. And for someone like me who suffers with a little bit of generalized anxiety, depression syndrome, the brain goes squirrel a number of times, which is why the detergent incident happened this morning. But somebody doesn't get it.
That's a poor excuse
Shut
for
up.
not reading the jar.
Shut up. That being said,
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days.
And you knew who you were then.
Girls were girls and men were men. Mister, we could use a man like her over again. Didn't need no welfare state.
His way.
She rode LaSalle and great. Those were the days. Thank you, Archie.
Scott Spar, you're too
Thank you,
late.
Edith.
We just ended the show.
Hi, Scotty. How you been, man?
Hi, buddy.
We haven't seen him in 2 months.
I know. I miss that guy.
That's right. We got to get it together, Scotty.
They're gonna
Book
have
one of our
They're
cruises.
gonna have to look at the Norwegian Aqua playlist to see our experience in the Haven with Scott.
That's right.
You
We
know,
play by play.
Before we go, now that I know that he's tuned in, I felt like complete royalty hanging out with this guy and his friends. With him and Todd and Paul, all of them. Like I've never been on. Thank you, Missy. I've never been on a cruise where everybody treats you like family. Aqua was the best cruise of 2025.
We're going to DM Scott and tell him the cruises that we're coming up
Yeah.
on, and he can.
But he's a Norwegian guy. He's not an MSC.
May we book the Norwegian?
What I tell you? It's gonna pick up.
Thank you all for tuning in. Please tune in next week when we'll be at the Frankie Valley concert here in Binghamton, New York,
You forgot
seeing
one other
Frankie
concert.
Valley and the Four
You
Seasons.
forgot one other concert.
I didn't forget one. I'm just telling you what's going to interrupt our show schedule next week.
Yes.
You know about the show schedule? Huh?
So we may be on, we may not. It all depends, but we're probably not going to be on next week.
We're not going to be on next
But
week.
we'll be on the following week. But we'll find time in between to do another show.
All right. So Saturday we see one concert. Sunday we see the other. What's
Somebody
Saturday?
on Friday.
Tell us about the Saturday night
Saturday we're
concert.
going to see Jeff Tate at the Tarrytown Music Hall.
where he's going to be singing the entire Operation
Why don't you
Mindcrime
get us a meet? and greet?
Queensryche album. No meet and greet,
And why not?
because you're meeting and greeting all of his bandmates in November in Wilkes
So wait a
Barre.
minute. So it's the same bandmates with Jeff
Former bandmates.
Tate? Oh, but I still want to meet Jeff Tate.
Sorry, Charlie.
Thank you all who have tuned in tonight, whether you were here for a minute or the whole way to the very end. We really appreciate you all.
We love having you guys on our
episode tonight
show.
is sponsored by It's All in the Detail, your local cleaning service out of the Lackawanna County. So if you guys are local, you need your
Thank
need
you,
your house
Eva.
cleaned, check out Eva's business. Her and Gina, they do a wonderful job here at the house and at our offices, and our kitty cats love it when they cuddle.